Well, well, well. Some good episodes today, actually. What do we have here? Good episodes, hopefully. The Chase, which is all about gallivanting around the galaxy, pillaging cultural artifacts again. Frame of Mind, which is a psychological horror sort of episode. That one's fun. And Suspicions that I'm not. Suspicions is good, but it's kind of weird. It does.
Me too.
It sort of does that In the Pale Moonlight thing where it's all like monologuing. It's Beverly
might
like
even call it
reciting what
suspicious.
happened.
I think Frame of Mind is good, but it's so unsettling. It's hard for me to watch it.
Yeah. It's alright. It's
Now I've got to decide how much health this thing has.
Now, for those of you who need context for that statement, Soma here is making a Dungeons and Dragons adventure. He's not deciding how much health like he personally needs.
Well, that's a decision we must all make all the time.
Yes, yes. Do you drink water or do you drink a soda? Do you have some chicken and maybe some broccoli, or do you have a steak and I don't know what?
I skip all the intermediate steps and I just drink formaldehyde.
Okay. And like 2 pounds of potatoes. Just potatoes. Potatoes are pretty good though. But yeah, the first
I was
episode's going to be
making
The Chase,
a
season
embalming
6,
joke.
episode 20. So everyone be queued up for that. And
3 minutes.
according to Windows, the current temperature is 54 degrees Fahrenheit and it's clear. And that's all it's got to say
we've all
about that.
got
Except
this-
when I click on it, it changes to 61 Fahrenheit and hazy. So I don't know
That's
how
cool.
often that happens.
Windows.
Yeah, this is a whole new update. There's nothing really new in the new update from what I can tell, just this annoying thing in the bottom right of your
There's
weather
probably
and
like
stories,
security stuff
which-
and bug fixes and yada
Yeah.
yada yada.
which you can
Hey,
get rid of though, so don't worry about it if you hate
Yeah,
it, as everyone does.
right click, news and interest, turn off. However, I turned it off initially because it was new and I don't like things that are different. But then I decided to turn it back on and I actually kind of like it. It's nice.
Oh, wait a second. You don't like things that are different?
See, when I say it, I'm joking. That's the difference.
So yeah, it's been raining all day here, and
Yeah.
I stayed up a little late. I was trying to sleep in. I was woken at 7 a.m. to my neighbor vacuuming out their car with a shop vac and setting up a
Okay.
tent because they're having a party,
Wow.
Yeah.
and they didn't bother to invite me.
That's just rude.
They
You
hate
could
you.
just show up, I guess.
Well, their guests are parking on my lawn, so maybe I should just have their cars towed.
Also, for the new weather widget, I highly recommend you right-click, go to News and Interest, and turn off Open on Hover, so it doesn't
Yes.
just pop up by itself. Then it's really nice. The hover is too much.
Definitely.
Yeah, 61
I
Fahrenheit.
don't
and
like the-
hazy, but it's kind of always hazy here because there's an ocean, and it
I don't like that. Go ahead.
turns the humidity up really high.
Do you have a seaside view? Or view of the ocean?
No, but from my parents' house, I could just barely see the ocean from the upper story, but I can't see it from my house.
So you've literally moved a couple of miles at most.
I'm not actually further away from the ocean. I'm just only on one story, and there's other houses in the way. I think I'm actually technically slightly closer to the ocean. Doesn't matter. It's far enough away that I'm not gonna go to the beach every day. I can see it if I get in the right position. But meh. There's nothing to do with the ocean. You just sit there and look at it. And I mean, it's a nice
view.
ocean. It
And
is a
according
nice view.
to-
I mean, that's all you do with it.
How has someone
And-
disliked the stream already?
And according to Ryan, sometimes it comes up and gets ya.
Oh, Ryan George. Yes, not Ryan me. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, I saw
Other
that.
Ryan.
Also 15 seconds to start. Everyone be queued up. Season 6, episode 20, The Chase. Very important. And get ready to press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Yeah, the ocean, If the ocean runs away, just leave. Go home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
If
you
the
run
ocean
away. You
disappears,
run
go somewhere
fast.
Because it's going to come and get you. Okay,
Ooh,
no.
we're
Oh,
going
there's
to have
Tracy.
the,
Okay, good. Tracy. She's here.
we're going to have the whatever it was rain again. I forget what it was.
The rain? I mean, that's when water falls from the sky.
I mean the wing which Picard fell in love with the chief of. I forget what it's called.
Why is it so spooky? How did he not notice them? He walked right by them. They're backlit. He can see them. Professor Galen? So yeah, that's the thing that everyone thinks he destroyed in Generations. For the record, he did not. He just set it down. The crash sound effect was just a meme. It's not in the movie. It's fine. I don't remember what that's called. For some reason I want to say Kukulaka, but that's a teddy bear. That's something else.
No, this is shoot.
It's an alien nesting doll, is what it is.
Basically, yeah. Each of the individuals inside represent all the individual voices inside of us.
Which is the same speech that Luoxana Troy gave to Alexander in the mud bath.
It's like 25,000 years old, I think.
Kurlin. Okay, I think it's Kurlin, but I don't think it's Kurlin Russian doll. That doesn't sound right. I don't think there's a Kurlin equivalent of Russia.
Is it a?
But what
is
do
it
I
a-
know?
I want to say Nesca. Is it Kurlin Nesca?
It's Fifth
Something like that.
Dynasty, which should suggest
No, this is Fourth Dynasty.
Eastern Chinese.
Third Dynasty.
Third Dynasty.
The master
Yeah.
of Tarquin Hill.
He was 200 years ahead of his time in clay sculpture making. Honestly, it's not even that good. Maybe it looked better when it was first made. 12,000 years old. Okay,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
it probably has a little wear and tear
Yeah.
on it. Hopefully it looked better 12,000 years ago. Because this is not impressive. It's okay. Is that hair going down the back of it? Or, the clay representation of hair.
Maybe it's like a Ferengi head neck
I wonder
thing.
if I can be around 20 in 2 different places at the same time. Which I
He
think
has
I can.
all his little people.
He picks them up and starts like smashing them together. I'm playing.
They're friends. God, Captain Picard's such a nerd. That's called schizophrenia, Picard.
And we
not
will
unusual.
examine that shortly.
Yes. Yes, we will. Yeah, no, he can't have this. That has to go to a museum. You can't accept it. Probably legally, you can't accept it. Except you can because the Federation's just a culture of pillagers.
Yeah, they are space British.
Yeah.
At least the captain is.
Right.
You
Why don't
said
they just
something, but only
replicate all
like a
the
tiny sound
artifacts?
effect came through, Mr. Germany.
You're
Ooh, an expedition. Why, though? Why does Galen want to take Picard? Haven't they not even spoken since he graduated? He was just his college professor.
Because it was his star pupil. He thought he was going to follow after his footsteps. But, because, Picard is younger
I
than
had some
him.
teachers who
and
thought I was
more
really good
able
at their
to do
classes. They've
adventures.
never shown up at my house.
Have they ever shown up at your work?
No.
Thank you.
That'd be weird. Why is his professor showing up? He probably just wants the resources of the Enterprise, and he's buttering Picard up.
That makes sense.
Oh, did I miss Saturn? I think I missed Saturn. Okay, it's fine. We can
Yes.
say it 2 more times. It's still going to be there.
It's still going to be broken.
Yep. Maybe I could make my own intro where it's not broken. Maybe I could fix it. Hang on, I think
Yeah.
people have remastered the TNG intro, haven't they? I know some people did a full 4K CGI of the Voyager intro. Did someone redo that for TNG as well?
TNG would
here's
be
someone.
a lot easier to do, I think.
Okay, someone did do
You have
it.
to do all versions of the intro, though. You have to do the original version. You have to do this version, the sparkly text version, season 5.
There's a lot of these. I feel you seem to be finding a lot of these Picard saying a stupid dad joke.
Yes. That's a Discord reference again for people in YouTube. Don't worry about it.
Join the
so,
Discord,
yeah,
it's free if you want to have some fun on there.
And the voice chat that we're currently in is also open to anyone. You just click on it and then you're there. Congratulations. The link's in the description. But yeah, someone did remake the TNG intro in 4K, but they remade the original intro, which doesn't have that weird cut anyway. Here's someone else did. But yeah, it's the original again. That's fine.
Ryan on the voice chat though, isn't there a queue that he set up so automatically when
There
this
is a
episode
queue.
is over?
But the queue only matters if the voice chat is full, which it's currently not. We have 7 out of 10 people.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
If you were to join the Q voice chat right now, you'd be immediately transferred to the Watch It On voice chat.
Ooh, teleplay
See?
by Joe
What?
Minoski. Storyline
alright.
by Joe Minoski. And also, this is Professor Galen, who Captain Picard will take his name and his identity when he goes undercover, sort of, with those mercenaries in season 7. He has to pretend to be an well, not really pretend to be an archaeologist. He kind of is an archaeologist. He's kind of like Indiana Jones. He does archaeology, but in a very, non-kosher way. He just takes stuff. Yeah, Gambit, that's the name of the episode. I don't... And a starship.
A starship?
So yeah, he is absolutely just buttering up Picard. Is like, I only have a shuttle, but I mean, if I had access to a starship, maybe it would go faster. Maybe we could get some work done. Maybe we could do some good archaeology. But alas, alack, I only have my pitiful little shuttle that barely gets me where I want to go, and the air conditioning doesn't even work.
I mean, I don't know why Picard doesn't be like, yeah, let's just take the Enterprise. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, let's just borrow-
anything.
We'll tell Starfleet we're
If
busy.
Final Unity is anything to do, I would just say, hey, Starfleet, I want to do this. And they're like, sure, go ahead.
Just borrow the flagship of the entire Federation.
Yeah, but is the flagship of the entire Federation doing anything else? It's just hanging out.
Always.
Dream not of today?
Exactly. What are you having
Oh.
for breakfast tomorrow?
Why do you know this? Why are you obsessing? Did you go over his old tests again? Wasn't this 40 years ago?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
obviously they had some good times.
It's not quite that, because
This
Picard's supposed
creepy
to be in his
professor had a
40s, isn't he?
thing- had a thing for Picard. No, Picard is supposed to be late 50s, early 60s.
Is it?
At this
Okay.
point,
Not 60s. Maybe 50s.
Not the same age as
I'm
Captain
pretty
Stewart is at
sure.
the time.
I'm pretty sure season 1 he's like 57.
Hang on, let me look up how old is Captain Picard in TNG.
Yeah, it was over 40 years ago.
Wasn't he like 45 or something when he took the command?
No, he specifically didn't ask you to leave the Enterprise. He specifically asked you to use the Enterprise to go on the expedition.
Well, he didn't explicitly say that. He was trying to imply it.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so Memory Alpha says he was born in 2305. Now we just need to figure out when this episode is.
According to Screen Rant, he was
The starship
69.
launched. The starship launched in 2363. So if he was 2305, 2363 is what? 58 years later.
Yeah.
So
And it says that this episode takes place in 2369, so that puts him at, 64 years old. Wow. Okay.
If they hadn't cast someone who didn't look like he aged for 40 years, then it might have been more believable.
no, they're trying to imply that you age slower in the future because we have better medical science.
That's very possible.
Maybe. I know that Will Wheaton, also known as Wesley Crusher, is now older than Patrick Stewart was at this point.
Ah!
And he looks way better. No offense to Patrick Stewart.
He
but-
looks way younger. I don't know if he looks better. Patrick Stewart is a very handsome man.
Yeah, that is
He only
true.
looks-
I mean, better
he
from
only
a health
looks-
perspective.
He only looks younger because he took that stuff that prevents puberty.
I was gonna say he looks good. I always find he looked good when every time I
Oh,
saw
so they
him
are
in the
leaving the
series.
Enterprise, even though he suggested it would be good if they had the Enterprise.
Yeah, Picard didn't pick up what he was putting down, so he's just going along with it.
He definitely look younger than he is now. I can.
Yeah, Picard in Star Trek, Picard is really old. He's absolutely a crotchety old man. He's in his 90s.
I can believe how old he was until I saw him this year. I was like, is that Picard? That's not the same Picard I'm seeing right here.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
show
the
was
young-
in the
the younger
90s. It's been a
Picard.
while.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the actors from the show are just dead. They're so old.
That's when I kind of thought they were, but they're not. Only a few actors died, but not many.
Didn't
Surprising.
someone say that Professor Galen died very recently? Like 100 something? Maybe that was someone
Correct.
else.
Yeah, correct. No, it was this guy.
Okay. Yeah, May 2021, Norman Lloyd died at 107 years old. Well, more like 106 and a half.
Yeah. Oh, well, in that case.
He's being the guilting father.
All right, Captain Picard, you let me go alone into the cold void of space on this dangerous expedition with no support. And he doesn't get what he wants, so he just sulks away. It's like, no, I hate you now. It was all a lie. He didn't remember anything about Picard other than he's useful. He knew he was the captain of a starship. So he went through and looked through his old documents to try and like, oh, hey, you remembered this thing? Yeah, that you have nostalgia for this. We're right. We're friends. We're cool. I know all the stuff about you. You should hang out. Professor Galen is a fraud.
What?
I made a terrible mistake.
Picard, this is all your fault. You could have gone with the Enterprise. How did they shoot him? I just see a tractor beam. Do we want to shoot the Iridians? Are we in Federation space?
Fuck him up,
good,
Mr.
we're shooting
Worf.
them. Wow, that explosion looked oddly like it just faded out of existence. Interesting. Where did the ship go?
They couldn't be bothered to create an explosion effect for it.
How did he did they board his oh yeah, he did say that. He specifically
Yeah.
said he was being boarded. This is your fault. Look at what you've done to me.
It's just so weird to see somebody die on the show as opposed to actually being dead. I mean, I know he's acting, but it's hard to imagine him seeing him dead on the show.
Well, I imagine there's a few instances where footage is used where someone dies. I think in Top Gun, the stunt pilot that filmed the flat spin died in that stunt, and I think they used the footage. So you don't see the person die on screen, but
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
YouTube chat folk I think that Poda was joking about the blurriness because they used a winky face. I think they know what's going on. Don't worry about it. Ooh, the number blocks. Yeah, that Uridian warship died in just one shot. I guess the Uridian ships just are terrible.
they're
They weren't
information
even trying
traders.
to
They
destroy it.
don't have good weapons.
You know, if you guys remember that line, lasers can't even penetrate our navigation shields. Don't they know that? I wonder if that's the same thing the Borg said when the Enterprise started shooting them. Phasers can't even penetrate
Well-
our navigation shields. Don't they know that?
I don't think the Borg cube has shields, does it? It's just
It
a
kinda just takes
Leviathan.
it.
It just takes it, yeah, and then
It doesn't even
regenerates.
care. I don't actually know for
We
sure.
know that the board drones have shields, or this
Yeah.
type of shield. I think the board ships do themselves. I'm not sure off the top of my
Well,
head.
we see in the first episode that we encounter the Borg that they shoot the Borg cube and they just take a big chunk out of it with
I think that's
phasers. And
because the ship hasn't adjusted to the no, yeah, the boards do have shields. It's the same as the drones. You have to have the rotating phaser frequency or whatever.
that definitely doesn't make them like regular shields.
Yeah, it's not a regular shield. It's the board shields.
So Galen was the foremost archaeologist in the Federation, and he was also a professor of archaeology, so he literally is just Indiana Jones, but old. Which Indiana Jones now is, so I guess that works out.
Yeah, the new Indiana Jones movie is just this guy.
Now, I do have a hot take for you. I watched the first 2 Indiana Jones movies, and I thought they were okay. They were fine. Not great. They were okay.
Okay, and then what about you haven't seen The Last Crusade?
I saw the one with the chanting and the heart thing going with the hand going into
That's
the
Temple
chest.
of Doom.
And then
Kalima
I saw
Shakti. Kalima
Yeah.
Shakti. Cover your heart, Indy.
That
I don't think that's gonna
was a
help.
funny film.
What was the
No,
other
it's
one?
not
There
gonna
was
help.
there was a desert,
Raiders of the Lost
and there
Ark.
was Gimli.
And the Ark of the Covenant. Yeah, that's
Okay,
Raiders of the
Very
Lost
good
Ark.
in that uniform.
Gimli, son of Gloin, yes. Also known as what's his name? Leonardo da Vinci, yes.
And the professor from Sliders.
Also very important.
Everybody loves John Rhys Davies.
We need a Sliders watch along. Where do we even stream Sliders?
I don't even know what that is. I just know it's like a small kind of hamburger.
No, it was an early
Ooh, intake
90s
starts right
sci-fi
here.
series.
That was a good show.
I should
And
start playing
the
intakes before we watch the relevant episode. Because I have them for like every episode at this point.
The premise was that this like college student, or maybe he's like a doctorate student under the professor who's Gimli, invents a machine that allows you to open a portal to parallel universes. And for his friend, him, the professor, and a random dude that was on the street gets sucked into a portal and get lost.
Oh
And
yeah.
every episode they go to a different parallel dimension trying to get back home.
So, for those who don't remember or just didn't see it, right here is the intake where Picard slaps his desk and calls her the B word. Because he's angry. And then Troy walks out, all sad, that he called her a mean name.
Disappointed.
Disappointed. You're right, not mad, just disappointed. Do we ever get Worf denying Captain Picard? Or is it always Captain
Did the same
Picard denying
matter,
Worf?
actually.
I can remember one scene where he almost stands up to Picard and then just doesn't.
First Contact.
That's
If you were any other man, I'd kill you
Being
where you stand.
uninhabited if you're destroying all life.
This feels illegal. Is this a Federation planet? Who owns this planet? There's no way people are allowed to just go and kill all life on a whole planet. I don't know.
Well, they're not, but it's kind of like if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, did it really fall? Did it make a sound? You know, if you exterminate all life on a planet that nobody cares about and nobody's noticed, did you really like? Can
Well,
they prove it?
Nobody
In terms of the
noticed
sound,
that's
the sound
alive to
still
tell the
happens.
tale.
Oh, it's this one. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one you gotta look out for.
This
That's the one
episode
that'll
is
kill ya.
literally just explaining the foreheads and how everyone looks human.
Yeah.
It's the whole
Yeah.
point.
I mean, they had what? How many episode arc in Enterprise to explain Klingons?
Yeah, 3-episode arc.
I wish they hadn't done that.
3-episode arc for the Klingons and a single episode thing to explain every other species in the galaxy.
There you go.
Oh, there's another intake right here. It's not that intense, so it's just Geordi LaForge stepping over his line a bit.
Oh,
We
this
could-
source,
we
this
scanned
plays
the
into
proteins, but we
the
couldn't
theory
find
that
any
DNA
compatible.
came from a asteroid or something, and that's how DNA appeared on Earth.
I mean, that's one hypothesis, but I don't think it's generally regarded as the most likely hypothesis.
No, and so it follows that hypothesis in after a fashion.
Yes.
This
okay,
idea.
Yes. That is panspermia. Panspermia. We couldn't find any compatible protein compatibilities. Configurations, Geordi, that's the
this
line.
one.
Not compatibilities. You got it on the second take.
Don't you have access to the entire Federation database of all non-Federation species and some form of DNA from them?
I mean, I guess, but who are the species on the
I
Enterprise?
suppose
The
you'd have to
17
get
species
clearance
that aren't
from
Federation
Starfleet.
species.
I suppose you'd have to get clearance from Starfleet to do it, but still. Oh, I suppose if they haven't been involved in Starfleet before, then they wouldn't have the DNA, but still.
You want my DNA? I'm sorry, you're gonna need a warrant for that.
Oh, I know what I want to do. Okay. Here's a video idea. I do this speech of Picard saying, "Oh, a computer program hidden in the very fabric of DNA," and then we cut to the end of the episode where we see Salome Jens. Except instead of Salome Jens, I just do like a holographic Doom. Just have a Doom come up. All right, that got no laugh, so I guess
It's
that's
running,
a bad
running.
video idea.
It's like it's running Doom on the tricorder.
Yes, it is just projected out onto a holographic screen. Oh, there's another. There's one I haven't done yet.
I get the
There's a lot of outtakes from this episode. There's an outtake here where Picard just gets very flustered. I guess it's been a really long day. Patrick Stewart's just... It's hot on the set. He's tired. He just gets cranky.
He's a cranky old man. What do you want?
And Picard is playing with that 15,000-year-old ancient artifact. Oh no, I did do this intake. And right there was that music cue, that crescendo. I remember I had to cut and loop that somehow.
How you know you've made too many intakes is that you forget what intakes you've made.
Yeah. I think I've made 68 now.
Just a few.
And I still have a good few more to go. Oh, speaking of Gimli, by the way, I want to do an intake for Lord of the Rings, but all the outtakes that I can see, one, are really low quality, but I can work with that. But they also have a watermark in a really inconvenient place. And it's not like the copyright holder's watermark. I think they were aired on TV, and it's the TV station's watermark. I don't suppose anyone knows a source that is not watermarked.
For what
Lord
again?
of the Rings
I'm sorry.
outtakes.
Oh, I don't know.
I couldn't find them on the discs.
I'm pretty sure a Galaxy-class starship would mop the floor with 2 Gaylor-class
Probably.
starships. What are you doing here?
John Cothran, Captain Nudak. I don't know why I know John Cothran. Maybe he's in another Star Trek episode.
Okay, I want to throw an idea out here, okay? You know how in-universe Cardassian females like show that they're interested by being like irritating and just argumentative with the person? Is she hitting on the Klingon right now?
I don't know. Also, I looked it up, and that Klingon, I know him from Enterprise. He's that Zindi that agrees to sabotage the chemo site. So they spread fragments of the thing through the entire galaxy, and all humanoid species are descended from that. How many fragments do you need? Could you just go get other humanoid species?
It seems to imply that many, but not all of them are from this race. So, like, I don't
Or maybe
think
the ones that are,
Ferengi
they just mutated out the DNA program bit. They're still humanoid.
Klingons just always think everything's a weapon.
Apparently, so do the Romulans in Final Unity.
Wouldn't an unlimited power source also be a weapon? I mean,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you ever discover the source of infinite power, you need to destroy that immediately.
Well, I suppose it would be useful to people.
It would be very useful, but we know
Let's not
for
be
a
hasty
fact
here,
it's going to
Ryan.
result in the complete destruction of the species. There's no way
I
that
could
has a
become
good ending in
very
the long run.
powerful. I could become very powerful with this.
Infinitely
So,
powerful,
from that
in fact,
perspective,
yes.
I'm gonna keep it, and
No,
yeah.
destroy it or it will be your downfall. Cast it
don't
into
think
the
so.
fire.
I'm like the guy who didn't destroy the ring when he had the chance. What was
Yes,
his name?
Isildur.
Isildur. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, I'm keeping it. No.
No, you can't
It's
have a source of
mine.
infinite
It's
power
mine.
or the species is dead. Every single one of us.
I think the species is dead if we don't have a source of infinite power. I think we're
I
doomed
mean,
if we do. We're doomed if we don't. Well, Ryan, it's
But
either
hopefully
slow
not in a
decline or
giant
full deploy on the
fireball.
grenade.
Or you're arguing Blaze of Glory ending to the human race.
Yeah, I mean, why go out in a whimper? Go out in a bang.
Very much closer indeed. How do you know? How can you read this?
I mean, I don't know about you guys. I don't want to go out in my sleep at 106 years old. I want to be on like in a hot rod, flaming, jumping off of a ramp into the Grand Canyon.
This is
or
kind of
something.
similar to the aim of, minor spoilers to Stargate Universe. Kind of similar to the aim of the ship in Stargate Universe. I don't know what it's called. Destiny.
I think I've like lost track of Stargate Universe at some point. I remember the one character was like changing into an alien or something, and I don't know. I just
It gets better in the later seasons. Gets
Yeah,
considerably
I never
better.
had any interest in that show.
It's this scene. It's everyone's favorite scene from this episode. Well, it's my favorite scene from this episode, so I assume it's everyone's favorite.
where is everyone's favorite?
I don't know. Resting. I still don't have any idea how Klingon spelling works, because the subtitle said B''AHT, but it was pronounced Bahat. Surely it would have been Ba'at or something like that. Why does the H sound come before the A sound when the H letter comes after the A letter? He's literally a machine, man. What do you expect? You're basically headbutting the wall of a starship. Oh, Data.
Good luck.
I like
You
how
hurt me, so now I like you.
I mean,
Now,
that is how
at the
Klingons
beginning
Yeah.
of this
do.
was just like, are we really doing this? Okay, we're really doing this.
Yeah. It's like, really? This is what you want? You want to arm wrestle me, an android? Okay. I guess a strategic advantage in getting a voicemail earlier than everyone else. Just bribe someone else, man. Bribe a human. Humans can be bribed. You're not going to bribe the android.
Hey, Worf, you know that discommendation? Yeah. What if that just went away?
What if I did a little
you say?
something for you? I got actually, people have pulled that before and it didn't work.
He's just a Klingon captain. He couldn't do anything about Worf's problem.
He could say he could do something about War's problem, though.
That wouldn't be honorable.
What?
Why? There's nothing more honorable than victory.
I'm pretty sure that Klingon captain could kill Alexander. What are you talking about?
Probably. I mean, I could probably kill Alexander. The dude's worthless.
I don't know about that. He's still 3/4
Get it?
Klingon.
Get
He
it?
stumbled-
Worf's
He would
problem.
probably, if we got into a fight, he would just stab himself on accident. I don't have to do anything. Wow, were they listening on the comm badge? Did she have like a... How did they know to beam her out? Did she have that blinking thing that Ardra had? She just lets them know through that? Also, this feels like an act of war. I don't think you're allowed to do that.
This is a ruse. Well, Riker's playing a ruse to make it think that they're dying. I think.
So further proving that Galler-class ships are not even slightly a threat to the Enterprise. They shot as hard as they could, didn't even scratch the Enterprise.
Why didn't they pick a system like further away?
Hmm.
It has to be a realistic planet for it to be.
They still
Now-
and they still want the Cardassians to show up again, I guess. So they just want to. They're just pulling a, yeah, we're smarter than you. Don't even try it.
I think this guy probably feels bad about trying to bribe Data now. Probably feels like a total ass.
Yeah. Probably still got a headache too.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, I mean, okay. So they sent the Cardassians off in one direction, and then they warped out at 9 in the other direction. So it's not just an hour difference. The Cardassians are going to be like a day behind.
As if they
Oh, hey,
realized
it's that
the
same
threat
cave.
system immediately.
It's the same cave,
If you
except
dig it up,
now
you'll-
they have much brighter studio lighting up above. Nice.
If you dig enough, you'll find the Toxu top.
Oh, wow.
there.
Yeah.
Huh.
Wait,
That's
how did they
funny.
get there so quickly?
They warped real
Warp
fast.
speed at plot speed, please.
Yeah, they changed some things around for this cave. Oh, that rock is very obviously painted styrofoam, though. Were they cloaked following them? Yep, they've just been stalking them. I was wondering when they were going to show up, because I remembered that they did. Also, he probably could have beamed down with more than 3 guards.
Yeah, like Romulan warbirds are bigger than Galaxy class starships. There's probably like 6,000 Romulans on that ship that they could have beamed down with.
Beam down a whole battalion. Take over the whole area. But I guess you don't want to beam down too many, because then maybe the Enterprise would notice.
The scale of the Diderdrex kind of moves around. In some scenes, it seems like the Enterprise could maneuver in between the gap of the hull. In other scenes, it's just a little bit bigger, you know?
Well,
But yeah, they're
I'm
supposed to be
using
huge.
I'm using the reference of official canon sources that the Diderdrex is a good bit larger than the Galaxy class.
Yeah, it is. But
Hang
like,
on,
I'm just saying
Klingon
on
Captain
screen,
here.
the scale
Is-
changes.
The Klingon captain is actually
It's
really
the
understanding.
founder.
He calls Worf his brother. Even though he has discommendation.
Does Worf still have that? I thought that was removed.
I think it's an
Honestly, I
open
don't
secret
remember.
that Worf accepted it to keep the council together.
Oh, wait,
from
yeah,
the
during the
Romulan
Klingon Civil War, Gowron was all, I restore your family name. Worf,
Yeah.
son of Mog. That's right.
So did the founders seed the universe then?
Yeah, I think this is just the solid version of the Founders, because they said there were solids before they evolved.
That's
Yeah,
that's
and
possible.
it's obviously that's the actress who plays the female changeling,
Yes.
but like the makeup is similar too. That's the
is.
weird part.
Yeah, that's what's really odd about it.
Well, they were filming simultaneously here. This season was the first season of Deep Space Nine was being filmed. Not that they had the female changeling yet, but they had Odo.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't show up
So-
until what? Season 2?
Season 2 finale, I think.
There's
so-
a Star
shows
Trek
up in
video
the search.
game. There's a Star Trek video game where you find like an ancient complex created by this progenitor race, and she is actually there in stasis. I forget what video game it is though.
Star Trek Online.
No, it wasn't Star Trek Online. It was well before Star Trek Online.
Oh.
I think it was based on one of the movies.
Man, all those other sci-fi series, we have precursor races and they leave behind all this awesome tech that people get to use and advance their civilization hundreds of years. They just left behind a voicemail.
No.
Why don't we get fancy precursor tech? Yeah, I'm with the Klingon, that's all?
Yeah.
Come on.
She goes, it turns my stomach. Then back in her quarters, she's got a picture of him. She's drawing hearts around it.
We don't get mass relays, we don't get beacons, we don't get halo rings, we don't get anything.
Ryan, I'm busy shipping together the Klingon captain and the Cardassian captain, please.
That shipping turns my stomach.
If you were Cardassian, I'd say, are you hitting on me? Or...
I mean, does the message really matter, though? I mean, it's a neat piece of information, but is it really meaningful?
Picard and Beverly are FWBs, friends with breakfast.
Okay.
Good.
'Cause, I mean,
Breakfast at Picard's.
all humans on Earth are descended from the same area, the same people, but nobody seems to actually care about that. Does it make a difference to these interstellar civilizations if they're technically descended from the same?
I find it interesting that the Romulans are the ones most receptive to the concept.
Yeah.
But it's kind of refreshing.
Yeah.
One day. And then Picard gets a couple Romulans living at home with him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think for the most
This
part,
Romulan
through Next
manservant.
Generation, we're supposed to perceive the Romulans as devious and you know, power hungry and all that stuff. But like when they actually cut through all that and you see the Romulans in character, they're not that different from the Federation.
Oh, what happened to you, Riker?
Looking at the preview for
Like
the next
the-
episode.
No,
If
just
the-
Netflix automatically goes to the next episode.
Yes,
the Romulan captain in the episode where we see Troy get surgically altered. She
yeah, she's
actually
great.
like she was a really straight-laced, honest captain with integrity. Like I think you would say that you wouldn't mind serving under her.
Senator Kretak was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there are definitely villains in the Romulan Empire, but there are villains in the Federation too. How many bad admirals are there?
Yeah.
All
Well,
of
that's
them.
the thing about Star Trek. The antagonists aren't actually villains, except for maybe Gul Dukat. They're just antagonists. They have their own agenda that does not align with yours, and they are the heroes of their own story. Well, Gul Dukat is definitely the hero of his own story, except his story was genocide. So
Yes. All right, 1 minute to the next episode, Frame of Mind, where Commander Riker is going to go a little crazy.
even Gul Dukat has his moments where he's a sympathetic character, you know.
Yeah, but the moments where he's sympathetic, he's lying.
Yeah.
I found we just saw
No,
this.
he was when Zial died. I mean, he was legitimately destroyed by that.
Guess I was just
Suppose.
watching this on my own.
Well, when Zial number 3 died, he didn't even notice the first two. Anyway,
Where does Kira keep getting these half Cardassian, half Bajoran women?
I
in the
don't.
age?
I think they're surgically altered. I don't think they're actually half Cardassian, half Bajoran. Anyway, 10 seconds to start. 10. What did I say? 10 seconds to start. Now 7, 6, 5, 4,
10
3,
seconds.
2, 1, play.
10 seconds to start.
Now minus 5 seconds to start. Minus 6 seconds.
I thought we just saw this, but I guess I was just watching this on my own. So might confuse myself. It's a good episode though.
Yeah, you seem totally stable, Riker. I believe you. Because he's feeling better.
Yeah, he's feeling better. Oh, he sounds better. He sounds better too.
Free to go to prison because now you can go to prison.
Yeah, if you're sentenced, if you take the insanity plea, you don't just leave. You aren't free.
What? Yes. Isn't that right, Sama?
Does
You get to go to
die.
jail. You get to go to jail after you are
Treated.
rehabilitated.
Yeah.
So
Is that Brent? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Brent.
it does sound
Okay.
like him.
I
Riker
wonder.
is angry.
I wonder what the plot of this play is like, because if it's just watching a guy who actually has mental health issues in a cell, it's kind of fucked up.
I think it's a guy who's not actually insane. It's a guy who is just basically imprisoned in a mental asylum against his will when he doesn't need to be there. I don't think his character is insane. I think he's made crazy by the psychological torture of being stuck there.
Yeah.
Yep, there's Brent.
yeah, being in an insane asylum as a sane person would be hell, and it would drive you crazy. And such was
And they're
the
also
fate of
injecting
many
him with
people in the United States.
Yeah, that's a thing that happens. Hopefully very, very rarely. But I've definitely heard of it happening.
It used to be pretty common.
Got somebody new in here, I guess. Myrtle. Yeah, so there's no accidents.
Now people he runs into on the hallway are actually going to think he's crazy. I guess he's not going to run into anyone in the hallway because oh no, there's one. And just looking back at him.
Yeah,
You
there's
should
one.
chase Jay.
She's thinking he's crazy.
He didn't
Not
even
that
notice that woman in the hallway.
Tracy. Yeah, chase Tracy down the hallway going, you tell me what to say, what to think! Ah!
So you need to watch what's going on in the hallway.
So Riker's in charge of personnel on the ship. He does all the crew assignments and evaluations. The fact that he
So he
doesn't
should know who that
recognize
person
that
is.
person, yeah.
Well,
That's
there is
little
1,000 people, Ryan.
Yeah, I guess he just thought he forgot, but that's also the only member of that alien race on the ship.
Oh, yeah.
Also, the stars are going away in 3, 2, 1, goodbye.
Bye, stars.
Bye. The Starship Enterprise.
Yeah.
Can we redub this with Mark Twain doing the reading?
We'd have
Seek
to get
out
Old
new
Man
life
Mammoth.
and new civilizations. To boldly go where no man has gone before.
I might be able to rope Old Man Mammoth into revoicing that. Maybe.
Marion, yeah, I just found out that since she just now, since this was just going on, you should make an intro where, you should make a video of the TNG intro, but make a say the same thing Picard is saying, but do it in the Mark Twain voice.
Yes.
I know you're gonna Mark Twain. I know you're gonna Mark Twain.
I need to bring some folks in because someone who reserved this episode isn't here right now.
No, you're good at it. I know you are. I know you are.
State of total anarchy. Now, if we're doing the voiceover, I don't want to do it myself. I want to get the oldest and crotchetiest man we have in the Discord.
Okay.
So yeah, this is just backstory. It doesn't really matter too much. Just Riker's going down to some really weird paranoid culture, and that's all we really need to know. Also, there's a knife. Where does he get a knife? Does Worf give him a knife?
Yeah.
Well, we see that there's a lot of stuff in Worf's
Ryan, here's the
quarters.
TNG intake you made there.
I don't think I did make
You
one
made
there,
this
did I?
TNG intake.
I don't remember one there.
Okay. I know something like that.
Unless someone else did one. Have you been watching another Star Trek YouTube channel?
No, I have not. I just want to confuse myself sometimes.
Sure.
Yeah.
So why is Riker going alone?
Because it's his episode, that's why. I don't.
But I
know.
definitely
That's what
was
he's been practicing
working
for.
women.
Worf is pretty gruff here with his commanding officer.
Prowess with the blade. Why you studied diplomacy? I studied the blade. Jesus, Worf.
What an underhanded comment back to Worf. I guess I wasn't paying attention. Because you just nicked me on the forehead.
Riker.
Riker hasn't studied the blade enough.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's gone.
Ever the taskmaster, Beverly.
Never happened.
I'll see you there. You're not getting out of this. You're mine, Riker.
Now, what is the purpose of this scene?
We will obviously see in a moment. Something's going on.
He's just staring at Riker. Is this real? Is this happening? I feel like this isn't happening.
Well, that music is gone. So I guess that's really happening.
I was wondering if I was just looking up this episode because I was wondering if it was directed by Jonathan Frakes, but no, it was directed by James Conway. Who also
Conway,
did? Ooh,
isn't he also?
he did the
Or
episode
no,
where Wesley stepped on the flowers.
oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
He also did some really good DS9 episodes.
The
Duet,
music
Way
they
of
use
the
in this
Warrior,
episode,
For the Cause, Apocalypse Rising.
the unsettling music they use in this episode, they used it in an episode that we watched. I don't know if it was last weekend or maybe the weekend before, and I was like, "This is the music from Frame of Mind." And I can't think of that episode now, but it was a lot of Troy in it.
A lot of
Trying to think of what
Troy
it
and
was.
Riker.
Yeah, it was a Troy focused episode.
Was it Menage a Troy? That's Troy and Riker. Do you
No,
remember
it
anything else
it
that
was
happened in
recently.
it?
It was in the last 2 weeks. It was in the last 2 weeks. Did we have the when did we have the one Man of the People? Was that recently?
That was recently.
It may have been Man of the People.
Did he
Oh
just
no,
kiss her? I
it was
looking
the
away.
it was the Aquiel episode, I think. Yeah, I was totally off base. It wasn't a Troy focused one. It was the shapeshifter one, I think.
Okay. Oh, that's some good acting,
Riker's been-
Jonathan.
Right? Riker's been
Not just
aggravated
Jonathan.
again.
Riker.
Riker's been aggravated again.
Data smiling is very concerning.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Been
You
in
were
Hello,
everything.
crazy.
everyone.
You're crazy now. Oh, hello, Mr. Socks.
Yeah, you are.
I'm a big fan of this episode.
Well, get
Data
yourself
never
queued
smiles.
up. Get yourself synced up.
Already did.
Okay, well, let's get the sync more properly because it's going to be a little bit off on YouTube because there's stream delay. Are you looking at the time
I was actually
remaining or the
listening to the
time?
delay. I was actually listening to this sync between the audio on YouTube and in Discord to sync it. I'm a smart cookie. Don't
Oh,
underestimate me.
very fancy.
I was just looking at a much older Brent Spiner. In fact, there is in the other window.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Mm.
is that as bad? Wait, it has a triangle pillow just like DS9. Is that from the DS9 set?
This doesn't look good.
My God.
So like the longer the series goes and the
Doesn't
more
sound
series you
good.
have running concurrently, the cost to produce each episode goes down because you have all these assets already that you created for previous episodes.
Like triangle pillows.
They really just needed to keep going, right? And then by now we'd have really good Star Trek. You know,
I
really good
don't
Star
think
Trek.
I don't think we needed it to keep
much
going
oil.
much longer. They were very obviously running out of ideas in season 7.
Yeah.
Do you
Probably
think
best
they
to cut
used
it off
I'd
on a
see
high
with
note.
more
Clean out
more
those
more
eyebrows?
series and stuff.
This time it's real.
Commander who?
Commander Keen?
Commander Adama.
Commander Thomas.
Man, I wish I had his hairline.
That that hairline or that haircut? Do you want your
Hairline?
okay? That's
I need a haircut.
I think I want the aliens haircut. That's a good haircut. If you
That's a
dyed
good
it,
haircut if you are doing a stage play of Dracula.
no, I was thinking if you dyed it like bright yellow, you could be a walking McDonald's advertisement.
Is that some kind of hairstyle that they use, or is it a wig? Is it some kind of a wig?
I think that's probably a wig
Yeah.
because they put the prosthetics on his head, and I think he has a bald cap and a wig over that. Or he's just bald himself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Riker just said that there was no officer that fit his description when they contacted the admiral. Riker is a 6'2" white man with brown hair and a beard. There's no officer in Starfleet that looks like that.
Maybe they actually sent a picture. What about the other Riker? What about what's his middle name?
He's
Riker.
off somewhere
Thomas.
else at the moment.
Thomas,
And also,
right?
Tom.
this is clearly fake. That stuff,
Nonsense.
so it doesn't matter.
No, the whole episode was Thomas Riker's delusion on an insane asylum.
Sometimes I
Thomas
can't break
Yeah,
the
Thomas
Starfleet is-
Riker.
Yeah, I can sympathize with that. I like my Starship fantasy. I like that this
number
guy's actually
47.
trying to be like a compassionate doctor type, even though he's an evil guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's evil.
Well, this guy isn't
Well, he
technically
might-
the evil guy.
Yeah, he might not even know that it's all fake. This guy was just doing his job,
Hmm.
and he's just a doctor in a shitty hospital.
I don't
We'll see
think
at the
this
end of the
asylum
episode.
exists. This isn't a real asylum.
Well, no, but like in this program, he's not the evil guy.
Hmm.
The evil guy is Lieutenant Sona.
He is evil.
Was that not Lieutenant Sona?
No, different guy.
Did Soma get a promotion while I was away? Lieutenant Soma?
Well, I mean, we have a lot
a
of people
commission
in the
and a
YouTube
promotion.
chat who are currently full lieutenant on their rank pips. But I don't think Soma's a member.
I don't know. At the moment.
You're not even giving me money to join me on this trip. Okay.
He's contributing
Lieutenant
something more
Sona?
important than
Stop it.
money. He's contributing friendship.
I do like the
I'm a
power of
student.
friendship.
He might have got promoted and got transferred to a ship.
What's with the gun?
The big orderly guy just looks so friendly.
A little? He looks... Yeah.
Too friendly.
Why is there screaming in the asylum?
And why is everyone else looking different?
Yeah, why is he the only human?
You have to
That's
assume
Lieutenant
he's
Sona.
drugged the hell up.
Mm.
Why is everything dull gray except those top supports? Why are they bright yellow?
Also, the guy holding the phaser is Dennis Madelon, who is a stunt coordinator for Star Trek for a long time. Continued with DS9.
Okay.
He played a Jem'Hadar in Rocks and Shoals.
That's a creepy little statue. I was thinking this might be the Rebel map, but no, I don't think it is. No, it's too different.
No. Yeah. I thought things were a little bit different from the play.
So
wasn't
this
right.
woman is
This
the
is
Borg
Lieutenant
Queen.
Thompson.
One of the Borg Queens. Not the
Yeah,
original. It's not
the-
Alice. It's the second Borg
The
Queen.
Borg Queen. Yeah, not the Borg Queen, but the actor that plays the Borg Queen. Susanna Thompson.
What did you make it with? Like a fork? A bit of wire pulled out of the wall?
Potato. A
Maybe
potato.
Oh, the
potato.
potato's
Fork?
just the battery.
Hmm.
Oh, that's a good communicator.
Probably would have been out of a fork.
Yeah, you're not helping.
It's gonna say talking to the fork. You talking to the fork?
She's not taking a utensil from the common area. She's taking a communicator. What? What is that? Why does it have
Well, that
leaves?
doesn't look very good.
No, it doesn't look good at all.
No. It's
The
definitely
Klingon
something.
food looks better.
It's definitely something I want to eat or wouldn't want to eat.
Mavek is a terrible worker for an
This
insane
guy is a
asylum.
little a little antagonistic for a care worker.
Have you ever met an orderly?
I've seen shows with orderlies in them. Does that count?
Yeah.
Riker mutilated a man.
That's impossible.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
Impossible.
Not this time.
Impossible.
You're wrong.
Oh, that was a pretty good
Impossible.
no, Jonathan. Well done.
Yeah.
No.
Why
Word.
provoke somebody like that?
He's had worse.
Impossible.
And you're back. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it, John.
I like his night sweater.
It's interesting. It's definitely a sweater that exists for sure.
Welcome back, Riker.
What's he doing with his eyes? Is he putting on eyeshadow or eyeliner? What is
Makeup
Fake
that?
for
eye
fun.
bags. Fake eye bags.
Oh, okay. For the play. Like a crazy man.
Be a crazy man.
God, how many times is Jonathan, or how many times is William Riker hanging? Let me start that over from the beginning. From the top, if you will. How many times is William Riker going to have to perform this play?
Like
How many times does he
at
have to
least
be
two.
aggravated?
He's gonna get sick of it.
Yeah, I'd
Why
be
do I
sick
know
of
that
it.
guy in the background? That guy just to the left of Beverly. Why do I know him? He's not listed on Amazon X-Ray. You feeling okay, Will? I don't think he's feeling okay. Why do I know
No,
him?
he's not
He looks
okay.
so familiar. Does anyone recognize that man? Just in the back row to the left of Beverly.
I can't see right now. Oh yeah, yeah. I think so.
Lieutenant Suna. You can't trust him. He's behind everything. He's behind it all.
Lieutenant Suna from the USS Enterprise. That's who he is.
Everyone else seems to know Lieutenant Suna. It's just you, Will. You're the crazy person.
Yeah, you're the only one that doesn't know who he is.
So he's not under guest stars. Uncredited co-stars, maybe? I don't think that's Debbie. That's probably not Debbie. I'm just going through the entire list of actors in this episode. Because I swear I know him and it's bothering me. It's going to bother me for like the next week if I don't figure it out.
Song looks good in that uniform. Yeah, so you need. I mean, I did like the other uniform, but it's time she needed to change uniforms.
So it was a very effective demonstration.
Sorry for the issue. Yeah.
Another treatment. That sounds like a great idea. Okay, that guy's not Keith. Is he Richard?
Occur, that would be a good time to rest.
That looks like it might be him.
Could it be Arvo Katagisto?
Arvo Catagisto? I don't know who that is immediately, but I can look him up.
It's just that I'm going down the same list. He played multiple characters, apparently. Some Klingons, Romulans. Yeah, that's him. That's him. The character's name is Torrigan, and the same actor also played the Davidians, one of the Davidians in Time Zero.
No, that's not the guy I was looking at.
Oh, then who were you looking at? I was assuming
He had darker skin and short brown curly hair. Let me out of here. I think I found him. I think I was looking at Richard Sarstedt. Sarstedt. Sarstedt.
The thing with insanity in this fashion is that if someone thinks you're crazy, they will find you crazy whether you actually are or not.
Yeah, anything you say can be found to some sort of crazy or another.
Okay, is it this guy? I posted in general
Yeah,
chat.
I think that might be the guy, Richard Sarstedt.
Apparently he hand doubles for Jonathan Frakes a lot.
I don't think I remember him as a hand double.
The various Voyager.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll look into it more after the stream. Anyway, there's an episode that I haven't been watching for the last, 7 minutes, because I've been looking up actors. Many people who need our help. Yes, you... Okay. He's accepting that he's crazy. Good. Ooh, reflection therapy.
It's like every other episode of Red Dwarf.
Cut into your brain. So if they had those two options the whole time, what's the asylum for? Why does it keep people? Do they
The
have to
stage plays.
Okay, yes. But do they have to treat people like a little bit, just enough that they can make a choice? Because everyone has dozens of little people inside them, with their own thoughts and opinions. Just like the Master of Tarquin Hill said. It's all coming together. It's all making sense. What was that thing looking for his brain? Because it scanned his chin.
That's where Riker keeps his brain.
He keeps it in his beard.
Well, yeah,
I mean-
that's what happens when you grow a beard.
I don't feel like my brain has transitioned to the outside of my face, but maybe. My beard isn't as glorious as Riker's. Maybe it's only a certain stage of beard. It's not fully metastasized.
It needs to be enough of a beard to save a mediocre TV show, at least.
Okay. Well, it's about as long.
It has
It's
to
just
be-
his shape is better.
It has to be the trusted sea captain length, at least.
Okay. How many millimeters is that? Because I keep mine at 12.
At what point does Troy get her peep?
Is
Is
it
it
later
season
this
7?
season? Season. I mean, it's definitely in one of the episodes that we haven't watched yet, so either late season 6 or in sometime in season 7.
Well, you definitely narrowed it down for me.
You're welcome.
What was the question?
When
The
does Troy take
episode
the
where
Commander
Troy
test?
gets her peep.
Oh, I can't remember what else was going on in that episode. I do remember what was.
But it was
Yeah,
the
it was
B
the
plot.
B plot.
Well, luckily, I have a computer. Troy Commander's Test. Bridge Officer's Test. That was the episode Thine Own Self. Season 7, episode 16.
What else happens there?
That's where Data loses memory, goes down to this old village, and all the village people are afraid of him.
Oh, that one! Yeah, I love
Yes.
that one.
Jaden.
Jaden. He's some kind of creature.
Radioactive.
What does that mean?
Well, that could be his name for all we
It
know.
could be.
Mr. Radioactive? I don't like that at all.
Lieutenant Suna. You don't know Lieutenant Suna? I mean, that's not true. I do like that even fake mental image Troy has a uniform.
Maybe subconsciously Riker just prefers a woman in a uniform.
Probably.
Definitely.
Yes, actually, we know a time that she specifically lied to him. She lied to him about the Betazoid phase or whatever it's called. She
or
undersold
more.
it.
I was just thinking about
Yeah.
that.
Or more. She has lied to him. Now, all things considered, that's a pretty benign lie. But you said you never lied to him, fake Troy. Gotta keep your story straight.
How does Riker know that she lied?
Because she admitted it in that episode.
Right.
She gave the excuse of, I didn't want to frighten you.
It seems to me that it really reflects on the writers of Star Trek in general, that every major female role at some point tells you about some stage in their life, in the life of their alien species, when they go into extreme violent heat.
I mean, that's Gene Roddenberry.
You cannot blame Gene Roddenberry on Ponfar. Come on. You can blame Ponfar
Yes, I
on
can.
Gene Roddenberry. No, not in the way we saw it in Enterprise.
Well, Ponfar was established with Gene Roddenberry. That was his idea.
Yes, but nobody in Enterprise had to follow up on it. It was their choice.
Ponfar got established that way in Voyager, actually. There's an entire episode where Tuvok and that other Vulcan kid end up.
Yeah, once again, Gene's dead.
What? Hang on, what was his name? Oh, it was either Vorik or Torek, the twins. One of the two.
Vorik.
I think
Torek is Voyager.
How much Vorik?
And that is just... Why did they give him a shelf? Even the pillow's not a pillow, it's just a brick. But that means it's not a reused prop from DS9, because all the DS9 pillows are actually pillows. They have another triangle pillow. Wait, why is the exterior hallway now the Enterprise hallway? So, I've said this before, but the black suit is supposed to make them hard to see, yeah? In the dark lighting?
Yeah, bad choice.
But Brent Spiner Data is very, very bright. He should have a mask and gloves. Good job, Will. Should have stunned him. Ponfar was imagined by DC Fontana. I'm going to choose to believe that it was Gene Roddenberry. I like to blame Gene for anything I don't like in Star Trek.
Doesn't Data know the Vulcan nerve grip or whatever it is?
He does. He's done it before, but he's not going to.
Are those the same rods they used on the holodeck?
Yes,
the ship in the bottle stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they use them all the time. But they don't beam them back up. They just leave them there.
It's nice to see Data's and Worf's physical strength actually utilized for a change. Usually they just get smacked around.
Now, okay. So does Riker believe they're not real? It's still believing.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, don't worry about it. Thank you, Dr. Crusher. Okay. I wonder how many times in Star Trek they say, don't worry about it. Because I'm thinking maybe I could have a video just asking all these questions and then I can cut to people in Star Trek saying, don't worry about it.
I was considering pitching nonsense. because in real life nobody says that word that often.
Which word?
But it's one of those Trek words. Nonsense.
You heard
I
a little
was
more often
inspired
in
by
Britain.
Fox.
I say nonsense. I think you're spouting nonsense. People say nonsense, or at least I use nonsense.
No,
Nonsense.
I don't be. Yeah, like that. Just nonsense as a sentence. I was inspired by Phlox.
I say that all the time.
Maybe it's an American thing.
It's not real.
The Starship.
Ship.
Riker, you have a gun. Shoot him.
Use gun
Use
on
gun on
man.
man.
Use gun on man. It always works.
Yes.
The only time using gun on man, the only time killing someone didn't work was the one time we didn't use gun to kill them. It's complicated. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Shoot him.
The random button presses.
And again,
They didn't even put
Sorry.
the LEDs on it.
Yeah, I think that was before. Was that before they had that on the prop, or was
No,
this like
we
a
had them
like
in
a stunt
previous
prop?
episodes.
Hmm.
I guess because it's not
So
actually
this-
a real phaser.
Well, I'm pretty sure they probably had hero props and stunt props, right? They had props that were just a solid
Yeah.
thing that the people carried in their holster, and they had ones that actually lit up and did stuff. So I'm guessing
that
this was
a
a
close-up.
stunt prop.
Why would they not use a
Yeah,
hero prop
maybe
for a
they-
close-up?
Well, I don't know. The prop master was lazy that day. Didn't bring it.
Forgot it at home. He was playing with it and it just forgot to bring it back.
Yeah.
His kids were using it for a Halloween costume.
There's the guy just to the left of Beverly, and he's gone again.
Did
There he
Frakes
is,
direct
left of
this
Beverly.
episode?
No, there's no way
The-
Frakes directed
The
this episode. There's been
enthusiastic
too much.
applause from Picard is always my favorite bit.
I want this armature thing. It's so cool.
Those are some
Use
weird
it for a
visual
mic
effects
stand.
for Star Trek. That
But-
The
shadow.
shattering.
Inception has like plots like this because like you're the reality within the reality shattering.
Ooh, a knife.
You were in a simulation, inside a simulation,
Inside a
inside
dream.
a
Oh, he just stripped that
simulation.
thing off
Right.
his head. He didn't even know what it was.
Right.
He could have just ripped out part of his cerebral cortex there and not known it, you know?
But this episode was nominated for visual effects. That's it, I think.
He left the
The
tricorder behind.
the guy's like, shucks.
We didn't think of putting the communicator like in another room. Or maybe a dampening
Just in
field
a
around this
box.
room.
But
In a drawer so
So
we
they
wouldn't
can't
immediately
transport
know where
him
it was.
Should have put a
Right.
anything around the room.
for all future Star Trek villains, when you do a mind wipe, just put some restraints on the surgery table.
Yeah, that too.
So I'm looking more at
Some
Riker's
sort of
beard.
drug.
So Riker cuts his beard really thin down his jawline.
Chin
Right.
strap. Absolute chin strap.
Where I think it's more common to have it go sort of diagonally across the cheek. With a
Yes.
slight curve.
I just realized the line in the play that I am not crazy and I didn't kill that man, no matter how many times you tell me that I did. It's his mind trying to tell him that like don't believe this reality well.
Yeah.
I love, by the way, when the Enterprise D crew does the plays. I think it's just such I don't know, makes you want to live on the ship.
But would Will's beard look better if it was the more standard diagonal curve across the cheek? Or do we like the chin strap?
I like navel beards. They're very.
I think he changes it to the more standard type in Star Trek Picard in Nepenthe.
Yeah. Robo, just mute yourself if you have to. Nothing.
I'd watch Cyrano de Bergerac performed by Barclay.
How many times do you think that they had to tear that set down? How many takes? How many takes was that?
Probably. I mean, there's not much to do. You just tear it.
Isn't the wheel like one take wheel or whatever?
They
Freight.
turn it
One
down
take
because
freight.
it's
But he wasn't the
Two take
director.
breaks. Two take breaks.
So
I mean,
that would basically be the maximum they would do with it.
They tear the set. They tear the set
Yeah.
down because the episode is over.
Yeah.
Normally they would do it off
Did they make
camera,
Jonathan
but
tear
they
down
did it
the
on
whole
camera
set?
instead.
they got freight
One
to
minute
start
sign
it in the episode to give them a bit of less effort.
No, here's what they did. What they did was they told Jonathan that they were going to film the whole takedown of the set, and they were going to decide later what parts they wanted to use from the shots. If they want to do like a
So they just had him. They had him tear it down for them.
Yeah. They just lied to him that they needed a whole montage. Anyway, 1 minute to actually let me put the timer up or the title up for the next episode, Suspicions, which is a pretty good
Oh, I
episode.
missed
I
the
like it.
chase.
I gotta take off, guys, but
Have a good day.
see you for
See you
DS9.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Cool.
Oh, Kevin, I love your background.
The
Oh, thanks,
Enterprise.
Harry.
Enterprise
1 minute
D.
to the next episode, Suspicions. 1 minute. Season 6,
the best one
episode
of all.
22.
And
The
final-
lore
final
implications of the
episode.
chase. The chase, I mean, the fact that they're all descended from the same founder species, if you will,
Mhm.
it's an interesting tidbit, but I don't think it changes anything. I don't
And
think
it's
it really
implied that there's
matters
more
to anyone in the
precursor
universe.
Because I think they say 14, then 20. So it's implied that like it's maybe a lot more. But you know, it's really a metaphor for the amazing thing that DNA teaches we're all from the tree of life, and except for viruses, and let's not talk about that. But everything else goes back to a single common ancestor. Like even us and bananas, you know, because we're
Hold
we
that
both
thought.
have- we're
Get
united.
ready to press
Bananas.
play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play. Continue.
Great episode, this.
Yeah, bananas
all.
share 70% of their DNA with us.
Yep.
Right, and they're also eukaryotes. So like the cells, the mitochondria, that's the same
Oh.
thing.
That mask behind Beverly, just to her right, that mask is something that she stole from another Starfleet. Or she might. No, she was a Starfleet
Oh.
officer. Lieutenant
There's
Marla
two.
Astor. Yeah,
There's
there's a
three.
total of 3. There's one in that back wall, and there's 2 there. All 3 were
Yeah.
from Lieutenant Marla Astor's home after she died.
Oh.
Beverly just took them.
Oh shit! Excuse me.
That was the same episode where Worf made Roos die with the boy.
There's 4 actually. There's one to her left right here.
She's not
No
a doctor on the
disrespect.
ship anymore.
And that's why she's not the doctor. She stole that thing.
But she still has.
Did
the
you
card.
know-
Yes, because she's a thief. That's
Did
why.
you know
yes.
that? Did you know that Guinan's hat is a perfect scale
I know,
replica
I know.
of the Enterprise D saucer section?
Okay, if you say so.
It has the exact proportions of the shape
I
of the
think-
saucer.
I don't think that's
This-
true, but okay. You do you. I'll choose to believe you anyway.
That ovoid shape,
stars.
ellipsoid shape.
Maybe sometimes you have to.
There's stairs.
But you know, even viruses, the fact that they have RNA, so like we don't know if they're the same tree of life, but it's very controversial to say that they're a different tree of life.
Some people
mean
don't
vaccines
even
have
believe in
RNA?
viruses, apparently.
Yeah, I just had my arm hurts to prove that.
Because you can't see them with your eyes, therefore they don't exist.
You mean the
Yeah.
vaccine
I'm just gonna drop something in general chat here
Do you not believe in
as
viruses?
supporting evidence. No, supporting evidence for my hypothesis about.
Okay.
Okay, hang on. Let me put this up and unblur the screen. It's a little low res. Jeez, couldn't you find like a 4K version of this image? Come on. There you
Wow.
go.
Okay,
There's
let me see if there's a better
Guinan and
version
her
of it.
hat.
No, there isn't. That's right. She
That
just
fits
flies
pretty
through
well.
space at warp speed, and she's nomming all this stuff in front of the ship.
Is her mouth a Bussard collector? That's how she gets deuterium?
Yeah. Well, she sucks it in like because
No,
she's not a deflector, so she has to suck it in to prevent it from impacting on the hull.
Her mouth would be the deflector array. The Bussard collector would be
Yeah.
on the nacelles.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it's,
but
it's the
I'm
red on the
implying
nacelles that intakes the hydrogen.
Right, but I'm implying that since she's not a deflector, she has to ingest all the particles to prevent it from colliding with the hull.
Okay.
Okay.
Jokes
Gotcha.
always get better when you have to explain them.
Sorry.
Yes. And furthermore, humans are technically donuts because we have one tube going all the way through. So anything that Guinan doesn't want in the ship just goes through to the other side.
Yeah,
Guinan
well,
has
you know
the
what that
best
means,
outfit.
Ryan? That means that when two people kiss, they form a long tube with an asshole at both ends.
It's true.
Ew.
Strictly
but
correct.
Guinan's outfit is so fabulous over here. I think like the earrings and the hat, it's just such a chic.
Now that hat is absolutely not the same shape as the saucer. It has a flat front.
Yes, it
or
is.
fronter.
Well, I mean, the perimeter. Like if you were to put it on a flat plane, and you put the saucer section on a flat
It's
plane,
just
and you
an
just
oval, man.
traced them. It's the same. It's the same.
It's
But it's the same
oval.
ratio of width to length.
Okay. Dr. Rega,
If you study, you know.
and there are multiple outtakes of Whoopi Goldberg forgetting his name. One of which I've used so far. I might use the others, but so far just the one. Because she does it like 4 times. So what did Beverly just do? She didn't inject her with anything. She just ran something over her arm? Did Crusher actually administer any medication? Also, I noticed that Beverly just folded her uniform with the communicator still attached.
Is one of them a
Yeah, why not?
Romulan?
No,
No,
she's
she's
a
no,
Vulcan.
she's a Vulcan. But they're the same thing, so yes.
Yeah. It's just the outfit looked more Romulan than Vulcan.
How dare you?
The woman
Why
playing
would
the
you say that
Klingon
to our
scientist
face?
is the same actress who played Captain Rachel Garrett of the Enterprise C.
Oh. Neat. Some kind of subspace theoretician. James Horan is Dr. Joe Brill, whose name I remember, but I can't place it to a different face right now.
He is the tactical officer during the second part of Descent. Does that ring a bell?
I'm just looking up his face.
He's a skinny, tall, blonde guy
Okay,
who's kind
there
of a
he
dick.
is. Moving on. There he is. That's James.
Screensbird.
Well, we haven't gotten to Descent yet, so I must recognize him from something else, because I know I've seen him before. Recently. Oh! I know him primarily as Future Guy from Enterprise.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, okay.
He's also Ikatika from the prison episode Jem'Hadar
Ikataka.
in Purgatory Shadow and By Inferno's Light, the lead Jem'Hadar
Yep.
who doesn't kill Worf.
Coronavirus.
Look, mate, if you're going into a star, it kind of doesn't matter how intense it is. It's either going to work or it's not. Why? What do you mean? What does it matter if Dr. Rega flies it or not? Either the shuttle's going to survive going into a star or it's going to die or it's going to explode. What difference does it make? What do they think he's going to do? Like he has an agreement with the star for it to not explode him when he gets close?
Sounds
now
like it
that-
will be a problem.
Yes. Now that Dr. Joe Brill is talking, yeah, that's absolutely future guy. So Dr. Rake, I'm not totally clear on why nobody wants to believe Dr. Rake is S.H.I.E.L.D. I know because it seems like it would be very difficult to do. They don't believe he has the tech for it, but I mean, there's no need for extreme skepticism. You can literally just go test. It's not that big a deal. You can look at it.
But if they were objective about this, they wouldn't have a plot for the episode.
Just fly it into a star, and if the shuttle comes back out, it works.
Also, why is Dr. Crusher the one who's so fascinated by this?
Because she has it written in her contract that she gets an episode, and she hasn't yet this season. That's why.
She has a little bit of empty nest syndrome, and she's looking for something to occupy her time. Picard's not paying enough attention to her.
Also, in the future, they've said multiple times that they cured basically every disease already, so she doesn't have much to do. She just hangs out. She just does research. Her first venture into scientific diplomacy. All right, now where's Tracy? I don't think she's on the bridge right now. That's pretty close.
This guy here.
I don't know how to identify him. I don't know what his skin is. It's not scales. He's not a reptile, but he looks kind of reptile shaped, if that makes sense. Is he?
Something's coming through the wormhole.
Is he like a chameleon? Is he a chameleon man?
So the way Crusher describes him, it sounds like his body doesn't have any like discrete structures. He's just like a collection of cells that can sort of live.
So he's like a Halo hunter. He's just a big group of worms that all work together to form a body. So this absolutely verifies that the shield works. Even if
Yeah.
Dr. Joe Brill dies right now, the shield still works like 99%. Baryon particles? Like what? Wait, how are baryon particles? Baryons are things that are basically like normal matter. Like they're elements. Hydrogen is a baryon, helium's a baryon. Anything that's heavier than a proton.
It actually means nothing.
Baryon? What? Yeah, there's baryon. What happened?
I suppose what you could mean from the baryon particles is that it's just the particles from the sun getting inside the vessel somehow.
That is, but how would baryon particles get into the shuttle? Surely it would be like this like radiation. Baryon particles
I
are
don't know.
EM radiation.
It doesn't make much sense.
Baryon just sounds fancy. I mean, the shuttle survived though, so the shield basically works.
I mean, you could say it lets these baryon particles through, so it doesn't work.
But it protected the shuttle itself. Previously, a shuttle would have just melted instantly.
True.
Okay, he's still breathing, but I don't think he's supposed to be dead yet. No, he's fine.
No, he's not. He's still breathing.
Does Star Fox fly on his sun? Does Star Fox have a metaphasic shield? I don't know enough about Star Fox to confirm or deny that.
Fox is from Nintendo. It's a Nintendo game.
What? I'm aware of the existence of Star Fox.
And you said you never heard of Star Fox. Okay.
I don't know enough about it to know if he flies on a sun or not.
Oh. I mean, neither. I never really played it.
I know he went to a planet that was full of dinosaurs, and he had to save the little dinosaur princess.
It was a good game, but it was totally different to the other ones.
Yeah, I never played any of the other ones. I just played that one.
Yeah, that's literally the only one I played as well.
6x20-22, General Scales.
All I know is that Star Fox does barrel rolls.
Yes.
Do a barrel roll.
And he has his friend.
Except it's not a barrel roll, it's an aileron roll.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. His friend Slippy the Frog and the other guy who's a rabbit. And there's a dog who's Sergeant Pepper. Admiral Pepper, Commander Pepper. He's Pepper. He's a dog. And there's a guy named Wolf, who I'm pretty sure is not in fact a wolf. I think that's a lie.
No, that's just what Waxana calls Worf.
No, that's Mr. Wolf.
A dog named Pepper. That's pretty cheeky name.
Ooh, look at those ridges on his shoulders. Very ridgy.
I love the rainbow like spectrum like effect on his chest.
Yeah, and the skin. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to have any discrete organs. But
those look like organs to me, Beverly.
Organs. We can see them on the picture. What are you talking about, Beverly?
I think she means like there's no liver, heart, and spleen. It just looks like there's one organ. 3 of the.
I think the artists just kind of winged it, and they had trouble making something that fell in line with the dialogue.
They could have just made like a randomly colored blob. That would have worked.
Much easier now I've done it in this fashion.
The rate of cellular decay is extremely low. I wonder why. Do you think that might be relevant?
It may be that minimal exposure to the radiation altered the cellular physiology.
They even took his pants off. They just painted his legs green so you can see them through the... Okay.
Okay. We know he's green all the way down.
I mean, typically people don't change color at the torso or at the waist.
Right.
Unless those people go shirtless to the beach but keep full pants on. Then they change color at the waist.
Yeah. Or the tanning salon.
For the record, you should probably not go to a tanning salon because those things are cancer machines. But then so is the sun.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's a well.
Are they known to the state of
Tanning is a
California
fake
to cause
cancer.
cancer?
I hope they're known everywhere to cause cancer. They're literally shooting radiation at you. That's what they do.
Is a joke given that the state of California lists a countless number of things as known to cause cancer.
Unless you get a spray tan, but I'm thinking of the suntan like beds.
Yeah.
So I had met this girl off of Tinder, and she very clearly had used the tanning booth a lot. And she was talking about one time, and I was like, you should probably be careful about that. I was just reading about a girl who was 19 who, got really severe skin cancer from going to the tanning booth. And she's like, oh, she probably did it wrong. She probably went more than once a day. I was like, well, actually, she went once a week. So you're going once a day?
Once a day? Why?
Once a day.
That's a huge expense as well.
Her goal was to look like a catcher's mitt before she hit 30, I think.
Like, even if you want to go to a tanning booth, what benefit is there to going every single day? Unless
it's addictive because it causes the endorphins. Like it's like shooting up. Like you get addicted to it.
Warm
like
feelings.
A runner's high or whatever. Yeah, you get.
But I like all these scientists because first they don't do stupid things like put themselves in a tanning bed every day, but they are they're like because this was organized by Dr. Crusher, so this is a symposium.
They just saw it work. They just saw it.
We know for a
work.
fact it works. It's not perfect. It needs further development, but it works. So I'm trying to find out what the cost is of using a tanning bed if you buy in bulk. $59 a month for unlimited tans. That's actually not too bad if you're obsessed with it.
Well, unlimited is very dangerous.
If your goal,
it's bad for your health, but it's a decent price.
Cook yourself.
That's not bad at all. I was thinking it'd be like $30 a session.
You can buy a used tanning bed on Marketplace pretty cheap. You'd be surprised. You just buy your own.
I would not want if I wanted a tanning bed, I would not get a used tanning bed. That thing shoots radiation at you. I don't know what
difference is it? What difference is there of a used one than using one at a tanning salon?
Because I would be concerned that the other person broke it.
I have a coworker who actually bought her own bed, and those bulbs actually get less effective over time because she would have to replace them pretty frequently, even before they were broken out.
That's somewhat reassuring.
So I don't think there's anything you could do to the tanning bed to make it more dangerous.
No, but here is the concern though. Like I wanted to kill dust mites, and I read that like UV light kills them, but like any kind of UV wand that you buy, it has to have a protection thing on it. So, it can only work in a vertical down position. So you don't accidentally turn it up and like put UV rays into your eyes and go blind and blind your dog or your child.
The kind of
not
UV...
true for ones designed for laboratory, but I suppose most of the ones you can get for standard use would.
The kind of UV you would need to actually kill dust mites is UVC, which is like the most dangerous UV. That's the stuff that kills coronavirus.
For the record, speaking of things being killed, Dr. Rego was just murdered, by the way.
Yeah, also by UV light, by the way.
Yeah, we don't care about Dr. Rego. So at hospitals, the way that they sanitize rooms,
that's what the stream's for.
The way they sanitize rooms, especially in the ICU, is that they have this like cart that is a UV light that you can program for how long the duration and to turn it on. There's like a delay to start it. So they go in, they put this thing in the middle of the room and they black out the windows with this special film and they start the timer, they close the door and then it starts and it irradiates the whole room with ultraviolet to sanitize it. And then when it's done, at a certain time it finishes and turns off and it's safe to enter.
Now, what you need to do is you need to be like me and be as pale as possible.
it's pretty amazing. But the reason I said that was because I just want to say, like, Ryan's concern is right. If you buy a used UV bed, you don't know, like, if the settings off and like it's just shooting a crazy amount of UV light at you. You know,
Well,
at least
I think
Maybe they overclocked their UV bed.
well, I think you'd figure out on the first use like what to expect.
Hopefully.
And it's going to be just as dangerous as any other one.
Mhm.
I think you
Ogawa.
shouldn't
Not
do it
Dr.
at all. You shouldn't
No.
use tanning beds.
Yeah, they should be banned, but whatever. People can choose as long as they're not hurting other people. People can choose to do self-destructive things. I don't care.
Ugh.
I'm not advocating banning them. I'm just giving generally good advice. Do not get in a tanning bed. Don't lay out in the sun for long periods of time. If you're gonna go
he
out,
died as well. Wow.
Yeah, Dr. Rega. Dr. Rega was murdered. And now
No,
he's
he
caked in
committed
flour or
suicide.
something.
He committed suicide.
No, he didn't.
no, he really didn't.
I know, but I think at this point we only know he committed suicide.
Yes. Dr. Crusher is now being considered a crazy conspiracy theorist because she thinks he was murdered.
Dr. Crusher
Clearly-
just said Reagan didn't kill himself, so it's not a spoiler.
No,
There's
but
the continued
he gripped the
Sec-
phaser more as he shot
continued
himself.
second in
Well,
command
obviously
of
it's
the med bay
suicide.
or whatever it is.
I'm sorry, I spoke over Soma. What were you saying, Soma?
There's the second in command or whatever of the med bay that we see continually.
The lovely thing about living where I live, where it's always cold and windy, is I can never be tempted to go lay out in the sun under the radiation because it's cold and windy. It's not pleasant. Who'd want to do
They're
that?
Cutest scientist couple, by the way. She's like all panached and the scarf.
Speaking of Vulcan human couples, isn't it kind of weird when Sarek and Perrin got married? Because, I mean, wasn't she in her 20s and he was like 90?
Yeah,
They were a very cute couple. That's what you're trying to say. Yeah, I forgot, by the way, she's a Vulcan because it says that she was head of the Vulcan Science Academy. So she's the Vulcan scientist.
Is the Vulcan Science Academy different from the Vulcan Science Directorate?
Oh, yes, it is actually. Because
the Vulcan Science Directorate didn't believe in time travel. And they were obsessed with microsingularities.
The Academy had the idea that it might be possible, I think.
Now, the Vulcan Science Directorate has determined that time travel is impossible. And then the Science Vulcan Directorate determined that time travel was unfair.
Isaac Asimov concluded the same thing, and he may as well be our Vulcan Science Directorate.
Isaac Asimov was a writer. What does he know?
And Isaac Asimov was wrong.
Okay. No, but he postulated that we should have more visitors from the future if time travel was possible.
We did hold a party for time travelers and no one showed up.
Time travel is possible because we're only in the forward direction, as we know at the moment.
Yes, but that you know very well that's not
true.
what people are talking about.
No,
Yeah.
it's true though. Quantum
Still.
does say that time does travel in both directions, and there is no reason for us to experience it only one way. But I'm not going there. I was just saying.
I mean, in
that-
terms of practical methods,
Yes,
it is only one direction.
It is trivially easy to move forward in time. All you have to do is exist.
No, as in move forward at a greater rate.
Yes, the faster you go through time.
Okay. I mean,
Or you sit by a black hole for a few years.
Or just any large gravitational
Or
force.
everything
is
starts to
fine.
slow down though the faster you go. So don't go too fast.
Technically speaking, if you could ever achieve the speed of light exactly, the universe would just end because then time just stops. for
Yeah,
you.
time would stand still.
Time
Yep.
literally goes to zero, and the entire
Yep.
rest of the universe goes through its whole lifespan.
Yep. Yep.
So light
So
light photons do not experience time. As far as the
Nope.
photon is concerned, The same instant it was emitted from the sun is the same instant it hit your eye.
93 million miles, 8 minutes later. It's like nothing happened. Oblivious. Definition of oblivious. By the way,
What are you gonna do?
I can't wait.
What are you gonna do if you don't have her silence?
Cut her tongue
I've had
out.
enough of these distinguished accusations.
Yes. I've
How
had
many
enough of your
of you-
tabloid journalism.
would volunteer to go into that shuttle? I would love to be in the corona of a star. Like, not to die, but
But she is guilty of assault and battery, so
Yes.
shouldn't she still be in the brig?
yeah, but you know, they're
Eh.
exploiting our space racism to assume that she's the murderer.
Then she would
Space
be in the
racism.
I bet it was the
because we assume they're
Vulcan.
warlike.
Speciesism?
The Vulcan is actually a Romulan, and she's there to sabotage the project because it would be useful to the Federation. It's the Vulcan.
Because, like, you know, if there's a murder defendant who's like screaming from the witness stand and like acting angry, right? I think the jury would be 10 times more likely to think that this person killed someone. Just the fact that they're like barking like a mad dog. And I would too, by the way, to be frank with you. Like, on the other hand, if someone was really like, anyway, normal, I would be less likely. I love the set, by the way. I love how the bodies roll out. I love how the hydraulics. We'd never see it again, I believe, but it must have been made for this episode. But
I was going to ask, is that a real machine, or is that somebody
I'm
controlling
thinking
it?
it's a real machine because it's too smooth. I was thinking that too, Kevin.
Yeah,
But, like, it's so smooth.
yeah. So
I,
it would have to
think
be
they might have used it a couple times.
In television, though, it's cheaper to use stage hands, but I don't think a human person could like push it that evenly. So it looks like a hydraulic press.
I mean,
or
that door
something.
moves
Really
pretty
light.
smoothly.
The
Doors are done by people, so
True.
it could have been pulleys and stuff like they do the doors.
True.
They're trained professionals at rotating corpses out
That's
of closets.
That's true.
What do all those controls do behind Picard? Also, why is his wall upholstered? Why
That's
is
so
it?
funny.
Why is there a grill of lights to the left of?
Because it was
Picard?
like 90s cheek. That was the cheek thing.
Do the lights
Are
do
they
anything, or
are
is
they
that
isolinear?
aesthetic?
I think they're isolinear slots.
Yeah.
Normally populated with a bunch of isolinear cards.
How come he
chips.
has a book that's open in the middle here, that's not in a case, and in his ready room that is in a case?
Yeah.
Because this one's replicated and the other one is actual first printing, maybe?
Yeah. It's weird that she's in charge of the murder investigation, but just because that she feels responsible for.
There is no murder investigation. This is just her.
Yeah. True.
God, it's got to be so stressful to be on this set when you just have to trust the doors. Just walk confidently into it.
Were they done by
Wolf
stage
hit it
hands, or-
once.
Yeah, they're done by stagehands, and sometimes they mess up and people walk into the door.
Yeah.
She said he would be disappointed. No, she said he would be disappointed.
That's pretty messed up.
Do you think that Ferengi killed himself?
Yeah.
I understood really like
Right.
you're supposed to be wise.
There's a large number of intakes for this episode, for this and last
Yeah.
episode.
A lot of them are for Whoopi Goldberg here. Whoopi Goldberg did like 6 or 7 takes of this scene.
That we know of.
Yes.
Oh, Gaiden, you're so wise.
Yeah, break the rules.
Because it doesn't matter anyway.
I mean, there is definitely worse
fired.
they could do to her, other than fire her. For
I mean,
example, she could be imprisoned.
She's still wearing her uniform.
Right,
she has a
and she has a
comm
board
badge.
of inquiry, which is pretty serious. Like, you don't want more charges brought up at a board of
So
inquiry.
she is.
She could be locked in the brig or restricted to
Yeah.
quarters.
Yeah.
New Zealand.
She could go to beautiful New Zealand.
With the Jemadar POWs. This is really really fine for Beverly. I think it's her finest episode in the sense that she's the highlight and there's no man involved, on like the Trill episode. And no disrespect to Sub Rosa, but
feminists would like it.
Yeah, she's right also, which is like her intuition is right. But one thing that I kind of realized, you see how much Picard loves her, and you rarely. I mean, there's probably one other episode where you see their dynamic better, but she's a
the main
fantastic
deflector
character.
dish, Beverly. Oh, the lateral sensor rate. What? It's always the main deflector dish. Bridge science stations, and all the other scientists were at Bridge science stations at the time. It's all coming together.
Like, she's not only a doctor, but she is a gatherer of symposium of science.
Data doesn't realize he just gave her like the ammunition to go defy orders.
Yeah.
If there's nothing wrong with the metaphasic shield, there must be something wrong with the universe.
I like to think that this Ian Taker writer is actually in canon. They just don't show it.
Because
Why
the
is she
camera
leaving
just
the
cuts
ship?
away from him. Also, one part I
okay,
didn't
for the
include in
inquiry.
the intake was Jonathan Frakes saying just another woman's name as he walked after her. I think it was it Olma?
Is it like that meme where the guy's like walking with a girl and he's looking at this other girl, and the girl he's with
No,
makes
he
that
just-
disgusting face? Okay.
It's the woman that's gonna walk by just before the shot ends.
I do.
Just gonna walk behind him. Or she might have... Yeah, her.
She's so baller by saying that to him, because she's telling him, I'm gonna mutant, I'm gonna totally buck the chain of command. So just stay out of it. And you too, Alyssa. Mind your business.
And he's going to find out.
By the way, everyone knows she's relieved of duty. It's just like Julian Bashir hanging out in sickbay and commandeering it for his own engine experiments. It's like she's allowed to be in uniform using...
Ooh. Ogawa's gonna get in trouble for this.
I think you need to check general chat, Ryan.
I can see it. I'm choosing not to acknowledge it.
What was that?
Change general to find out why.
And if you want to see what we're doing in Discord, you can click the link in the description to go to the Discord page. And then see all
It's
the
what we
things
do
that I
with-
have to ignore on my other screen.
It's what we do with our 3090 graphics cards. That's a complete... That's the waste part.
That automated, like, not the rotation down or the thing sliding out, but his cylinder that he's in, like, crumpling into
Collapsing
itself.
back?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the last one is connected to probably a cable, and they're retracting it, and then when it runs into the next one, it starts pulling that one along with it. It's probably on 2 rails.
Yeah. 4 rails, yeah.
Two of the one on each side, I assume.
Unfortunately, Beverly did not notice that Jobriel is still lightly breathing.
It
Could've solved it
was
right here.
very, very slow.
These actors just can't hold their breath like they used to.
Oh my god, I would love an outtake if the guy then sat up or something like that, you know?
Tracy.
Yeah.
Wow, Tracy looked like she was in a really good mood. She was very happy when she got that pad from Picard.
I mean, wouldn't you be if you were handing a pad to Captain Picard? Like, remember when Cisco gets his pad signed by Kirk in Trials and Tribulations?
Yes. But Tracy sees him all the time. They're friends. They hang out at concerts.
True. And weddings.
And weddings. What are you doing, Doctor?
I love Enterprise D shuttles named after scientists. The Feynman.
They should be naming whole ships after them, not shuttles.
It's very important that we name shuttles and ships after dead people, not living scientists, because we've tried that, and sometimes it goes weird.
Well, I think Richard Feynman was alive then. Or
Richard Feynman's still alive, as far as I'm aware.
Thank you. Okay.
He was alive. He still is, but he used to be too. You know, like in Discovery, and I like Discovery.
He was definitely dead by the 24th century, though. Sorry.
In Discovery, they made reference to Elon Musk as one of the greatest scientific minds of the 21st century, and that just feels weird.
Man. That's wrong. He's the founder of PayPal. That's what he is.
Well, I mean, he is one of the greatest scientific minds.
But he's also kind of a crazy person.
He's a billionaire who cobbled together an incredible array of scientific and engineering, intellectual, and practical power.
No, he streamlined it. He took away the bureaucracy of NASA, and he went, "Build me a rocket."
Yeah, I mean, he's a very smart guy. Like,
yeah,
entrepreneur. But is he the scientist and engineer? No.
He comes from, his family had considerable money from, what was it, blood diamonds or something, like some like shady industry in South Africa. Yeah.
I mean, in general, you need to start with a little bit of middle class money to like.
I think it was more than that.
To be at the cutting edge of a forefront, like, you know, PayPal was early from like eBay, like 97. You know,
so Beverly's still going before the board of inquiry, right? Because she still went against the rules repeatedly and stole a shuttle.
Yeah, I mean, the end of this episode makes no sense. She redeems Dr. Rega's technology, but like that's not the thing that was wrong. Like she still disobeyed the family's wishes for the autopsy. She shouldn't get out of this.
And she broke the captain's orders. You know, her captain's orders.
Well, so Picard's probably not going to care about that as much.
No, I mean, Starfleet's putting her in a board of inquiry because you broke orders and started a diplomatic incident.
The slow rate of cellular decay, it was foreshadowing.
But I love this shot because he looks like such a ghost here. Or Ra's al Ghul from Batman, even. Which means the head of the ghost. Or
How did Joe Brill get out of his coffin? In the morgue?
Yeah.
Is there an emergency latch inside it?
There must be an emergency release in case you get stuck inside for some reason, like in maintenance or whatever. Like, you know, in a trunk, they had to put those emergency pull releases.
For people who are victims and kidnapped. Yeah.
You would think that there would be like an alarm on that, like, hey, somebody is trying to get out of this thing.
If he moves so slow,
zombies are here.
The camera won't pick it up.
How many movies have fake dead medicine? Are we talking about Star Trek movies? Because I don't think the Star Trek movies have fake death medicine. They have cure death medicine, which is something different.
It's only so long as they have his blood.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Because he should be. How do you heal after an autopsy too? Like,
very well.
I removed his
wasn't dead.
He's like a starfish.
Karate kick.
I mean, since his body's and his organs are completely decentralized,
Oh.
I guess he doesn't care if he gets cut open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
As long as
here's
it's
part of
sterile.
that.
Like a starfish.
Now she just destroyed all the evidence that he was still alive.
Yeah, true.
Shouldn't have much of a choice though.
I mean, he was in the shuttle when.
See, even like on all right, even though he's got decentralized organs, like a phaser on kill should still kill him because it could kill like all of the cells at once, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, but I'm sorry. I was talking about how much Picard loves Beverly.
This is another intake.
When
I love
when
you,
when
Dr.
she was
Crusher.
when Beverly was taking the shuttle, he was like, "Beverly, what are you doing?" And she's like, "Yeah, I gotta prove this." He's like, "But you're putting your whole career online," and like he lost her husband, right? And so he feels so much affection for her, and for her to destroy her career and risk her life is something that's very painful for him.
I
And
expect that most of these are just literally the intake is actually the scene that they used in the ending shot.
yeah, Ryan
So
does
the-
those very well.
I have trivia about that shot. So you saw that Captain Picard, when he was related, he did the sigh. However, the audio for the sigh plays at a different time in the scene than when he actually does. It plays when it cuts to Data, because they changed when they were cutting the episode together. They left the audio as it was, but they didn't change the. What was I saying? They left the audio as it was, but then they changed the order that the visual cuts were. So now you hear Picard sigh and then you see him sigh. But it's very subtle, so it's fine.
That's cool.
There's a party going on in the back of the Enterprise.
I love this.
Literally
Guinan never played tennis. She was doing the whole elbow
They-
thing. Just
For the end of this
to,
episode, they've literally used the title
DS9 one.
screen.
The DS9
That's
record.
literally a shot from the titles at the end there.
Oh.
I had said on an earlier stream that Guinan plays tennis, and because she had the elbow problem before, but it was from kayaking. It was not from tennis. So, because this
I don't-
episode establishes she doesn't play tennis.
I don't remember her ever kayaking.
Right.
So okay.
Well, she kayaked with
At the
Miles
very beginning of the
LeBray.
episode, I was asking what was Dr. Crusher doing to her arm, because we were going to find out later that there was nothing wrong with her arm. It was fine. Did Dr. Crusher inject her with something? Did she try to heal an injury that wasn't there? What happened?
Dr. Crusher is not what you would call a good doctor.
Because they cured all diseases in the future, so she doesn't have the experience.
She's
She
just
just
like,
put an analgesic on it. That's all.
this thing is telling me to wave this other thing on over you, so I will.
Yeah, it is a bit odd that you need a medical degree in
It doesn't hurt to put an analgesic on
TNG era
on a
because
joint.
everything should. Well, if it was nowadays, everything would be able to tell you, "Hey, you have this problem. Fix it with this." So it's on
All you
certain
need to
things
be, you just need to be literate. Like you just, and you know what? You don't even need to be literate. You just have to understand language because it could probably just tell you
Yeah,
verbally.
The medical
Ben
tricorder
Gay in
doesn't
her-
actually give you just data. It just redirects you to the WebMD page that loads on your tricorder screen.
And she had. Ben
If
Gay
that
in
were
her
true,
bathroom
everything
hair.
would be cancer.
Yeah.
That's
Well, if
true,
you're in a
but
tanning
she-
bed every day.
It would be better. It would be more true, or better if it went to the NHS website because that's
es-
actually
especially
yeah.
a used tanning bed that has the meter broken.
The
think the
NHS
better-
website
the-
with your commie medicine? I don't think so.
I think the better
You
we
mean our
become,
socialist good
Yeah.
medicine where we each pay for it together, and when we go, it's free.
Better red.
is
wait,
it
no,
like,
the
is
opposite.
it like
Better
the
dead
scene
than red.
in? Is it
Better-
like the scene in?
Better alive than
Idiocracy?
bankrupt.
It's like the scene in Idiocracy where you go into the machine that diagnoses you and they stick all the probes in you. Oh, wait, got those two mixed up. No? Okay, never mind.
No.
I don't.
See,
It's
Ryan,
been a long time since I've seen Idiocracy. I don't remember.
Such as like a Star Trek superfan, boshing the NHS. It's much more Star Trek than any other system that's out there right now.
I don't think
mean,
Ryan is serious.
No.
I know. We Brits just are very passionate about it.
Yes.
Isn't
bless
someone
them.
trying to
So
get
passionate.
rid of it?
Yeah, always
the,
somebody.
the,
Boris
the
Johnson
Tories.
tried to sell it.
Don't worry,
I
he's
don't
selling
know
our
how to
personal
do that,
data
but-
now.
How do you sell the NHS?
For money.
Make
You
it
can
private.
privatize
Is it-
certain services.
Private company want to take this over, please? Pay us money.
That worked out
Mhm.
really well for the U.S.
Because the government can't figure out how to make the NHS functional. I know. How about reform it and actually do stuff with it and give it the money it requires?
Just sell it to someone else. Let them deal with it.
We'll figure it out by the 24th century, guys. There's nothing to worry about.
The first step to
there's a
fixing
third
the
world war in
NHS
the
is
way.
to leave the European Union.
Very soon.
They have. It's already off the thing.
Wait, who's left?
Yes, that's the joke.
Brexit, yeah. Britain
There's
has,
a
yeah.
there's a really
You
good
did, Soma.
there's a really good
Yeah. I thought you were talking about the United Nations for some reason.
The United States is also not in the European Union.
It was a really good
Would you like to be?
CPG Gray video or whatever his name is on YouTube about why it's taking so long or why it took so long for Brexit or was taking. I think that video was made while it was still in progress.
Because nobody had a
And
plan.
so he's like, there was these 3 things that was a requirement for Brexit, and they're like, you can't, you can only have 2. And it was like no internal wall, no external wall, and then like a
customs union or like free trade. Yeah.
The most stupid thing about Brexit, not to say right or wrong at the moment because that's political, but the most stupid thing about Brexit is that one of the biggest things which was said about Brexit is the food and things, all those regulations from the EU, which not only are identical to our regulations prior to the EU, are also, if we're trading with the EU, we still have to follow their customs regulations. So it would make 0 difference to us.
Yeah.
Right. What is agriculture in the UK? Like, I don't even know what you guys grow or do there. Is there anything like that?
A lot.
We grow loads of food.
Sheep. Sheep.
Aside from livestock, yeah.
Well,
I know about the
barley,
sheep.
wheat, apples. We're famous for.
Everything required to make scotch.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
most fruit
almost everything required
able to be grown in any fruit and veg able to be grown in Britain is grown in Britain, and some of it is sold abroad.
Okay.
Yeah, we export a lot of cheese.
Cheese in particular, yes.
You don't grow cheese, but
yeah, I think most scotch is actually made in used bourbon barrels from the U.S.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a new
Guys,
thing,
you know what's
though,
deeply
because
it has to-
disappointing? It's been like a month and a half since we've seen a triangle ship.
Sad.
It's been so
Well,
long.
what comes up on DS9 tomorrow? Do we have any potential
DS9
there?
tomorrow. Let me check because I have no idea. Well, I know one of them. One of
it's
them is
more sad episodes though, so no triangle ships and more tears.
Wrong Stark
Define a
and Death
triangle,
Night.
though.
Wrong Stark and
Wrong
Death Night,
Starker.
where Dukat slept with Kira's mom. Inquisition, where Dr. Bashir is accused of being a changeling by Sloane. And In the Pale Moonlight.
How could you accuse
shit.
this little Bashir of being a changeling?
A Dominion double agent.
They didn't accuse him of being a changeling. They thought he was, like, turned to the dark side.
They thought he was like a sleeper agent, like a Manchurian candidate.
Yeah.
Is the term.
While he was in the prison camp, they thought they brainwashed him, or not even brainwashed, just convinced him that their side was right, because he had advocated for surrender previously.
Sorry, what's the 3rd episode?
In the Pale Moonlight.
Okay.
Oh,
The best episode.
I might pop in just for that episode. I haven't watched Deep Space Nine much, but I might pop in just for that episode.
I hope you reserved a slot.
Yeah,
I
let
hope
me
you
check
reserve
the
a spot.
reservations.
I'm reserved, so you know what? I'm
If
gonna.
there is space, I'll reserve it now.
Let's see.
I'm
In the
gonna-
Pale Moonlight, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wait, you have to reserve spots?
If
No, you don't
there's-
have to.
You
But
get
you
you are
can.
able to reserve 1 episode per season that you can watch, so
Per
that
show.
ensures that you have per show, of course.
Because people before have
So it
been
ensures
like,
you
"Oh,
can
I
watch it."
was waiting for this one episode. That's the only one I really cared about, and it was full when I tried to get in." So I was like, "Okay, we'll have a reservation system. There you go."
So how many are there for the?
These days
I
we've
lost
had
count.
less than 10 people, so your reservation probably isn't gonna come in handy.
It only really matters for the really, really good episodes. Most of the time, you're fine
Yeah.
to just come in whenever. For the really good stuff, you might want to reserve. 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 3 more slots
Alright.
for that.
Which season is it? Out of interest.
6.
Six.
Episode 19.
Come
I
early,
reserve
somewhere,
that now, then.
otherwise you're gonna get locked out.
All right, but with
Nah,
that,
I'm reserving
that's
it now.
tomorrow. The stream's over. Get out of
Have a
here.
good day. Thank you, chat. Thank you
See
so
ya.
much.